go into obtaining um, the test and training split that we expect from our model, and ultimately train our wake word model. So the first thing we're going to do is actually, I'm going to do this from a GUI perspective rather than a command line interface. So here I am from my file explorer with the audio samples that I have. So with machine learning, we want to do is what's called a test and training split, because we want to have some samples that our model has not seen before to use that as a type of metric for how well it's actually predicting. Our training accuracy simply tells us how accurate it is with respect to the training samples that it has, but it does not tell us anything about the training samples that it has not seen before. So for example, we might have some type of bias when it comes to having an overwhelming amount of male voices, and it'll tell us that our training accuracy is very high. But then when we try to use a female voice, which is not represented within the samples that we have, we find that it is not represented correctly. Same goes for foreign accents. So if we have a bunch of American accents and we try it out with an English accent, the pronunciation might be different, and as a result, the predictions will not be as accurate. So what we're going to do first is perform our split. Different people do it differently. Some people do 70% train, 30% test. Some people do 75% train and 25% test. What we do is 80% train and 20% test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 8 of my samples here, and simply toss them into my training data. And then I'm going to take the remaining 2 and toss them into test. And that's it. So what I'm going to want to do is go back and make my way back to the scripts directory, and then I'm going to want to run this train model.py. Let's take a second here. And so now what happens is that this script will pull those audio samples from those respective directories and do the conversions. So here we have the MFCCs, the male frequency cepstral coefficients. We have all of those audio samples, representations in these JSONs, and then our model training script will pull from these JSONs the training and test data for the wake word and the non-wake word. One thing to do note is that within this demonstration, the split that we did was for the training and the test for the wake word data, but not the non-wake word data. So do take into consideration that when you collect non-wake word data, that you will also need to perform the split there as well. So as we did with the wake word, you will need to do with the non-wake word. But for this demonstration, that was already completed. So here we come out with a test accuracy of 75% and a loss of about 0.985. And congratulations, you've just trained your first model.